So, a couple of weeks ago, I actually crossed two milestones on YouTube. I completed my 1 year, and also around the same time, I crossed 100,000 views. So, first of all, a big thank you to each and every one of you who has watched my videos. I appreciate each one of you, and all of you have contributed towards the growth of this channel. So, a big thank you. Normally, all the YouTubers that I draw inspiration from and all the new ones that I learn and grow along, they have done some kind of Q&A after reaching 1000 subscribers. I reached 1000 subscribers around the time of April, but I never did any Q&A. Right now, with 100,000 views and also crossing 1 year on YouTube, I actually reached 2000 subscribers as well. So I thought, well, this is the perfect time to actually hold a cheeky Q&A. So last week, I put up a story on my Instagram channel and also as a post here on YouTube asking you guys if you have anything to ask me. So yeah, let's answer a few questions. Okay, so all the questions that I've got so far, I've actually categorized them into three different sections. First one is general, the second one is school and career, and the third one is YouTube. Now, I have a lot of questions in school and career, so I'm going to be starting with that. So the first question is, did you consider London? And if you did, why did you choose France over it? Okay, so I did consider London, and the reason that I chose France over it is because the school that I applied to in London, I unfortunately didn't get into that school. I had applied to LBS, and then my second preference was ESSEC. So I didn't get into LBS, I got into ESSEC, and now when I look back, I'm actually happy because with the pandemic, the last year, ESSEC gave me the opportunity to study in a flexible curriculum, space out my MIM as long as I want, and take benefit of the flexible curriculum that ESSEC provides. The second question, ESSEC versus ESCP for MIM. Okay, so both of them are definitely great schools. ESSEC and ESCP, both of them come in the top 3 schools, business schools here in France. So you cannot go wrong with any of them. Do college brand name matters for MIM? Not to an extent, I think. Okay, so maybe this person wants to know if their bachelor's college matters when they apply for an MIM. It does to a certain extent, but not much, because the admission committee is very much interested in your motivation and why do you want to pursue that degree. So my final answer would be no. It does not matter when you're applying for your MIM degree. So just focus on your application, work on your motivation to apply for the next year's intake. The deadlines are going to be ending pretty soon. I think the LBS has a deadline on 29th of September, and ESSEC has a deadline of I think 8th of October for round 1. So yeah, focus on your application, and that is what matters in the end. How much GPA we need to get in UG for MIM? There's not a particular number that you need to cross. Just maintain your grades. I have been transparent since the start. My undergraduate GPA was 7.00 out of 10, and I focused on my application. I had a little bit of work experience, so I tried to stitch the whole story together as why I want to apply for MIM right now. And yeah, that was it. I don't have a 9-pointer GPA, so yeah, you don't need 9-pointer to apply to these colleges. You need to have very strong motivation. That's all I'm going to say. What will be your career like after MIM? So now this is also something very different for every single individual. I have talked to seniors who are still working here in France. Some of them have moved to UK. They found jobs there. Some of them have moved to different countries in the European Union, Germany, Luxembourg. Some have even gone back to India. So it really depends as to what you want to do. And yeah, opportunities are there. You just have to grab them. I have even talked to people who have gone to the Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia after studying here in France. Many people even they start their studies here in France, then they go to Singapore to continue their MIM, and then they start working over there. So yeah, opportunities are unlimited. You just need to grab whatever opportunity suits your boat. How would you rate the MSc Finance program at ESSEC? It is definitely very good course. I think in the FT rankings, it's ranked 3 in the world. And I have friends who in my batch who had enrolled in the MSc Finance program. It's a short program, it's a 1-year program. So the people who enrolled along with me, they are graduated. Some of them are working here in France, some of them are working in Germany. It really depends. I mean, it's a very good course from what I've heard, and you can definitely do your own research. Just talk to find people who have done the MSc Finance program from ESSEC and from other colleges of your liking. Connect with them on LinkedIn, and yeah, just ask their opinion. Okay, why ESSEC? In a very short and crisp answer, I'm gonna say the flexibility that ESSEC gives you. You can start your internship anytime you want. You don't need to wait for a gap year. That's the best thing, I guess, that ESSEC has to offer. And among the business colleges here in France, you also have something known as an apprenticeship program, which the other top business schools in France don't offer. ESSEC offers, so that's also a very good selling point of ESSEC. And yeah. How's life at France? People feel US and Canada are best countries to study. What do you think about this? I mean, yeah, all the countries that are among the top choices for students, they are definitely good places to study, be it US, be it Canada, be it France, be it Germany, be it UK. These countries offer very good programs. Germany has a lot of public universities that offer free education to international students. UK has some terrific schools. Canada, US. I mean, it really depends on what kind of program you want to enroll for. You might get something that you are really interested in, but that is not available in a particular country, so you need to go to a different country. I mean, it's a mix of schools, it's a mix of culture, whatever you want to do, because I have known a lot of people who wanted to come to France because they really like the French culture, so they wanted to study in France because of that reason. Many of my friends really liked the US culture, really liked the idea of studying and living in the US, so they went there. Many people that I've talked to really want to go to Canada, study over there. They have a very attractive PR policy, so a lot of people went there. So it's really up to your own preference, what you want, what you like, and what you want to do in the future. How was your first year at ESSEC? I mean, my first year at ESSEC was, it had a mix of everything. Like, I went to school as well, attended my classes on campus. That was a great experience, but due to the pandemic as well, I had to attend a lot of my classes online as well. So I got to experience different programs, studying on campus, studying online. Then but I don't think I missed out on anything apart from a few opportunities, I guess, which were really built for a face-to-face experience. Apart from that, yeah, I think I have done a video where I have talked about my whole 6 months, I think 6 months experience in France, so I'm going to be linking it somewhere here, so do check that out. That was also a very I did not prepare anything for that video. It was really extempore. Whatever feelings I had, I was talking about it, be it school, be it living in France, friends, normal life, work-life balance, everything. What do you want to specialize in? I'm actually interested in marketing, but I don't want to specialize in a particular domain. And the reason for that is I really believe in the quote, Jack of all trades, master of none, which I think a lot of people just know this much, but the actual quote is Jack of all trades, master of none, though oftentimes better than master of one. So I really believe in this full quote, not just the one Jack of all trades, master of none. So I mean, I really like to explore, I would like to explore marketing, digital marketing. So yeah, I don't want to specialize in a particular domain or a field. How is the work-life balance while pursuing an MIM? At ESSEC, I think you can design your own work-life balance curriculum, as I'll say, because the thing is you select your own courses. You don't have a rigid schedule. Apart from the first trimester, you don't have a very rigid schedule. So you can choose your own courses anytime you want. I'll give you an example. In my second trimester, I had 2 courses on Monday. Then I think 2 courses on Tuesday, and yeah, that's it. My Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was free, and obviously I had the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so I kind of swapped my weekdays and weekend, and I really used Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays to talk to other people, make new friends, work on these videos, script these videos, shoot these videos, edit these videos. And if you actually go back to my channel during January, February and March, I think during these 3 months, 12 weeks, I was posting videos every single week. So yeah, that allowed me to have a perfect work-life balance, manage this channel as well. So yeah, it really depends how you customize your own curriculum. At ESSEC, you have that opportunity. What made you select between MIM and MSc Marketing, HR or Finance? So yeah, like I answered, I didn't want to specialize in a particular field or a domain. So yeah, that is why I selected the MIM curriculum. It had the freedom, I could do any course I want, and that is why I went for the MIM degree. And along the same lines, is specialized courses more valuable than MIM? I have a very different opinion as to what is a value of a course, because I think after a certain point, not even after a certain point, even in the beginning when you are pursuing a course from a particular college, that program, that college has a certain value, certain brand name, but then 95% of the opportunities that you are trying to grab at that point will depend upon your caliber, your confidence, how skillful you are, what do you know, how do you talk to people, how much street smart, how street smart you are. So it really depends upon you and how much hard work you are willing to put in. So I'm not sure if my answer to this question is really on the lines of the question itself, but yeah, I don't particularly rank courses among each other. I just think that a person's caliber is much more important than the course he or she is doing. Do you think having a year or two of work experience is better before getting into MIM? I had 2 years of work experience, so I am definitely gonna say yes. Having work experience before you actually enter into a master's program is valuable in my opinion, because you once you are in a bachelor's college, you are in a very confined world. Even if you are involved in a lot of student activities and a lot of student clubs, you are making friends, you are doing your work, your studies, maybe a summer internship in your 3rd year, something like that, but your world is still very much confined. So when you move out of that comfort zone, when you start a new job after your bachelor's, you get experience in the corporate world, be it in a big company, big MNC or a small startup, your whole perspective changes, your ideologies changes, your comfort level expands. Because in my case, I had to move to a different city, a new city, living by myself, taking care of bills, rent, everything, utilities, everything. So in my experience, definitely having experience is much better. Having some experience is better before going into a master's degree. So yeah, I think that was it for school and career. Let's move on to YouTube. If you could start again, what is one thing in your journey that you would change? That's I mean, I am definitely taking 5 seconds to answer this question, but I am pretty sure what I would change in this journey, and that is I would start early. I would start a little bit earlier, because I've had this vision, this aim of starting a YouTube channel. If you have seen my introductory video, I've had this aim of starting a YouTube channel since back, I think 2012. That was a different channel altogether. It was related to photography and design, but I never got to it. So yeah, one thing I would change is definitely I would start much earlier. I started last year, I'm at this point, and maybe if I would have started 2 years earlier, I would have had a different milestone. Maybe I would have been doing a 10,000 subscriber Q&A at this point. So yeah, that is one thing that I would definitely change. What was your motivation to start the channel? Motivation, I would say, I think I credit one person and one person only, because of whom that I started this channel, and that is Ali Abdaal. I started watching his videos, I think, during the pandemic last year, during the time that I started applying to different colleges for my MIM program. I started watching his videos, and I don't know, his videos literally kind of pushed me towards starting this channel that I have been postponing for so long. So yeah, I think I would say that guy has been my motivation, my inspiration to start the channel. What app, software, and gears do you use? Okay, so the app and software that I use for editing, for my thumbnail, for my pictures on the Instagram channel, and for the video editing. My hair is a mess. Sorry. Yeah. So the software that I use is the Adobe Suite. I use Photoshop to edit my thumbnails. I use Premiere Pro to edit my video files. I use Adobe Audition to edit my audio, as well as something else that I will talk about in the next video. And also, yeah, Lightroom to edit my photos. So yeah, I think that was it. And yeah, what gears do you use? So the camera that I'm filming on, that is Canon 80D, and I don't have a fancy lens. It's just the kit lens, 18 to 135. So yeah, I don't have a very fancy lens. Hopefully I'll buy it soon. But yeah, I'm using the normal kit lens with the Canon 80D body, and I'm using the Rode Video Micro as my mic there on the camera, which is a bit weird because I'm also using this mic over here, and probably the audio that you will hear in the video is gonna come from this condenser mic. But yeah, for some reason I am also using a mic on my camera. Yeah, and apart from that, I think I've got a bunch of lighting. I have a lamp that is kind of acting as a main light. I have one light over here that's kind of acting as a fill light. This is like lighting terminology. And I have a backlight, and yeah, just a one fancy Harry Potter fan light. Yeah. How you went about starting your channel, initial hurdles, etc. Are you going to do it full time eventually? Okay. I mean, the hurdles that I'm gonna say I had when I started this channel is, even though I was involved into photography and videography, but filming myself was very challenging. Like to this date, I've made like 35-36 videos, but I'm still very awkward talking to the camera. I'm definitely not near even halfway perfect being comfortable talking to the camera. And yeah, I think that was the first hurdle that I faced. And apart from that, yeah, I really still struggle with lighting, even though I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 lights in my room. I still struggle with lighting a lot. So even to this date, yeah. And yeah, I think that was about it. I started with the same camera and just the mic, no lighting at all. So maybe I'm gonna put a sample of a video like early, like the first 5 videos, and you can see the difference. That maybe definitely I have come a long way from then, so my setup has improved. But yeah, I'm still nowhere perfect to the setup that I want. And regarding full time, maybe not, I don't know, we'll see it in the future. So stick around, definitely. Yeah. And yeah, that reminds me, I actually was checking my analytics a few days ago, and almost 85 to 90% of you viewers, you watch my videos regularly, but for some reason you're not subscribed. I don't know what's that about. So do subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot. And yeah, you can just imagine, almost 90% of my viewers are not subscribed. I'm definitely gonna hit that 10,000 mark soon if all of you subscribe. So yeah, go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you like my videos, and also hit that like button. And yeah, let me get back to the Q&A. And I think that's it for YouTube. Let's move on to the general questions and the last bit of questions. France for vegetarians. Okay, that's, yeah, I do get this question a lot, even from the incoming students when they were planning all of their like right before they were coming. I got a lot of questions regarding France for vegetarians. I mean, you get everything over here. You get the most basic vegetables: potatoes, bell peppers, brinjal, okras. So yeah, beans, kidney beans. So yeah, you do get everything over here. So don't worry. Okay, so the last question: social life in France. Did you make good friends? I think this question kind of ties back to the work-life balance question. It really depends upon how you customize your curriculum here at ESSEC. I have known people, I have friends who have classes on all 5 days of the week. Still, they are able to manage a very good social life on the weekends. I had classes on 2 days. Most of the trimester, I had classes on 2 days, so I had a pretty big space in my entire week to socialize with people, go out, meet friends, explore the city. So yeah, I mean, social life, it really depends on how you customize your program, and definitely I have made very good friends. I can say with the complete honesty that I have made some friends for life over here that I can depend upon, even not just now, but 5 years, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. And yeah, I think that completes the questions of the Q&A. I do have some funny bits here and there. How much cheese is too much cheese? I see you, Harsh. What did the baguette ask the croissant? Where are the damn bloopers? Did you ever get left on scene? And yeah, I think that was it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are still here at this point, I think this video is way too long. It's definitely gonna be more than 20 minutes. So if you are still around watching at this point, I really appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, do subscribe to the channel, and yeah, hit the thumbs up icon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.